You're listening to Where You Live with Gene Sullivan.
Welcome back to Where You Live. I'm Gene Sullivan, and I am brought to you by Extreme Exteriors and American Family Insurance, the Kim Bennett Agency. I'm broadcasting from the True North Painting Studios. About Extreme Exteriors, remember, you can count on them for expert installation of exterior siding, roofing soffits, fascia decks, windows, and more. With their knowledge and experience, they can design the perfect solution to make your home beautiful and energy efficient, saving you maintenance and money for years to come. Give them a call at 763-441-1334 and tell them Gene sent you. It's time now to hear from the Community Associations Institute. The CAI Minute is brought to you by New Concepts Rental Management. Whether you're an accidental landlord or a seasoned investor, New Concepts Rental Management can advise and guide you through every aspect of the business. Give us a call at 952-922-2500.
Are you a member of the Community Associations Institute? For nearly 40 years, CAI has provided education and resources to volunteer homeowners who govern community associations and the professionals who support them. Visit caionline.org to learn more. That address again is caionline.org. CAI helps community association board members by providing online resources, in-person training, and hard copy publications written by association management experts. CAI offers community managers professional development, networking opportunities, and a certification program that's established as the industry standard nationwide. Minnesota has its own chapter of the Community Associations Institute to bring resources and tools from community associations around the country right to your home. Visit CAIMN.com to learn more and become a member of CAI today. Your community and management company will benefit from your involvement. Join the Community Associations Institute today at CAIMN.com and click on Membership.
We're talking about the Case-Shiller Index, which is used by Standard & Poor's to determine and give us sort of a litmus test of the condition of the housing stock in the United States, how things are faring when it comes to real estate sales. And it's interesting. Case-Shiller said that overall, the last 12 months, the economy has shown that housing has improved by 12.8% on the average around the United States. Greater in some places, less than others. But what was even more interesting was that these two gentlemen found out, and probably for almost the first time, that they started looking more specifically at the homeowner association industry. Not just homes, but homes in homeowner associations. And what did they find? Well, they found that in 20 major cities that they take a look at in terms of home pricing, that in every single one of those cities, that homes in homeowner associations were outpacing the growth of single-family residences in every one of those respective cities. We're talking about in Los Angeles. You live in a condo, you saw on average a 4.9% greater increase in your home than a single-family home. So instead of 22% increase in homes for single-family homes, you saw about a 27% increase. In Chicago this last year, single-family homes saw an improvement on the average of about 9%. If you lived in an HOA, 14%, and it goes on and on. And so I asked the question, what is the reason why? We know and understand the idea of why something is more valuable to us. There is a greater desirability, and apparently there seems to be, on the whole, a greater desirability for homes in an HOA versus a single-family counterpart. And I was asking the question, why? Well, if you recall, a number of weeks ago, maybe about a month or a little more ago, I talked about another report that came out, and that was from the American Enterprise Institute. They were saying the exact same thing, if you recall. They said because of the HOA industry, that there was an increase, they thought, with their study of at least 5 to 6% on the average, greater value in homes in a homeowner association than a single family home. And what would be some of those reasons why? Some of the things that people really don't like about a homeowner association, people are finding out are the very things that they really do appreciate and are the value added items that cause them to pay even more for a home in an association. What are some of those things? Well, architectural control. In a homeowners association, you're not going to get someone who's going to have the 200 pink flamingos in their yard. You're not going to have one house. I remember one home when I lived up in Crystal a number of years ago, or New Hope. There was one house that looked like chocolate peppermint bonbon ice cream. I kid you not. The way it was painted in the colors. It was even dotted. It was even polka dotted. And someone thought that this was just a wonderful color for a home. It was a few blocks away from my home, and I was thankful. But I bet you some of the other neighbors had a few things to say. Well, that's one of the things that people like about an HOA. There's going to be a little bit more of an architectural control, which helps temper value. So that means you're going to have more aesthetic consistency. Well, there's a couple of other things that came out from the American Enterprise Institute, and I think these are the things that are worth pointing and bringing up once again. They said, they asked a question, they said, if there weren't homeowner associations, if they didn't exist, what would we find our country, what would it be like without a homeowner association? Well, one of the things they said is, besides the fact that housing would be 5 to 6% less everywhere in the United States, they said another effect would be that if you didn't have a homeowner association at all, you could count on higher taxes and bigger government. Well, why is that? Well, they found out that each year more than 2 million residents volunteer their time to serve on their homeowner association board of directors. Well, if you take a look at all of that volunteer time by those 2 million plus residents who serve as directors with their association, and if you had to pay them for the service that they provide, that value would be over $850 million more per year. And they also noted, the American Enterprise Institute, that homeowner associations, they assess themselves to pay for the cost of the services and amenities in their community. So they assess themselves for being able to take care of the snow plowing of their own private roads and their driveways. And they assess themselves for the utilities that are used. And they found out, the American Enterprise Institute, that the annual amount of all of these assessments comes to approximately $40 billion. That's $40 billion that would have to be found in local government, that cities and municipalities would have to come up with in order to provide those same services if HOAs didn't exist to those number of homes, which means that there would be an increase in taxes. They figured that it would be about an average of about $133 per person nationally. Another thing that they found out that would happen if there were no homeowner associations that existed, they said without community associations, we'd probably all feel less connected to our neighborhoods. They found out that nearly 90%, and this was in a survey, of community association residents who were surveyed responded and said, we feel that the board of directors in our association work to protect my interest and my property. And so they 90% were looked at directors and boards of directors in homeowner associations very favorably. Let's contrast that, shall we, to what people think of the governance that we receive from Congress. The report card that comes out with Congress right now has Congress sitting at about a 14% approval rating. So while only 14% of all Americans even look favorably upon those who are in Congress and the fact that they are working in our best interest, 90% of those in homeowner associations said, you know what? My association board of directors are looking after my best interests. They are making decisions that really help keep the value of my property up. And so it is looked at much differently. No wonder that because of this, you can see this again and again. And here we have not just the one study from the American Enterprise Institute, but now we also have the Case and Shiller index that came out from Standard & Poor's saying the very same thing. And what is that? That a lot of people are seeing extra value living in a homeowners association. Well, we need to take a break right now. Let's do that. Don't go away. We have got a lot more value and a lot more to share with you after these messages.